I think it's actually I've been advertising quite a lot last year on Facebook, and that's quite a good platform for advertising.
Does it work?
Well. Sure, it works. It works. I'd say it's quite similar to Google, but it's different. But what sort of amazes me though with Facebook is that like your targeting possibilities. There are some things you can target. For example, you can say that I only want to show this ad to women who are, you know, like 20 years old and go to Handelshögskolan, for example. So I did some ads like that, you know, only the people to Handelshögskolan, and said like, yeah, here's sushi restaurants close to your school, and for those I had like for those specific ads and other similar ads, I think I paid like 6 öre, like less than 1 cent per click, you know. Per click. Yeah, so it was really good. But
what did you buy it on? Did you buy it on clicks?
I bought it on no impressions. I bought it on impressions. Yeah.
Okay.
So you know, since it's so relevant, the problem is with Facebook is that the system isn't as good as Google, so you can't automatically generate 100,000 ads. You know, you have to sort of sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to make this ad for Handelshögskolan, I'm going to make this ad for KTH, which is really stupid. And then also, like, it's really interesting how Facebook isn't data mining the users. So you only have like these few parameters, but I can't say I want to reach like all the people who seem to be interested in programming. You know, so because maybe they joined this group, or you know, I can see that this group seems to be about programming, and you know, that person has joined that, or is friends with this person who says, you know, who's friends with someone who's a programmer, or you know, stuff like that. But that hasn't really happened yet. But I think it's going to be a lot of stuff like that. Yeah.
I think it's before you comment on that. I think it's good to remember that now we're talking about there's brand advertising, which is kind of the old animal that has always been there, and we still do that, and that seems to work. You need a sales force, like Henrik said. Then we have the Google, which is they gonna enable you to advertise on their platform, and same thing with Facebook. But that's about it. You don't have many players with the reach of Facebook and Google. So, but just to kind of put it in perspective. Sorosh.
My point. I think it's interesting to always look at from an advertiser's perspective. What do you want to achieve? I mean, you as an advertiser, you want to get people on your website, right? To use your maps, and for that, probably Facebook is very good, and TV4 is very bad to run a video with your maps, and it's probably not the best way. But if you're selling, toilet paper, you probably, you just want to be on top of people's heads, and people don't Google for toilet paper. You don't go and search for toilet paper. It's very bad. So it's like in the end, it's totally different things you want to achieve, and it's the same with Adidas or Nike. It's about building that brand. It's about like, hey, I'm wearing Nikes and I feel quite good. I don't know why. It looks exactly as the other shoe, which costs a third of it, but I actually like wearing Nikes. And how do you build that? You can't build that on search either. You can't really. You have to create these commercials that cost a couple of €100,000, and then you have to just scream it out loud and be everywhere and do these things that you can't follow up.
But does it?
You're still talking about like the 100 big companies, not
yeah, exactly. But I'm saying Nike want to achieve something different than maybe website want to drive traffic to. I mean, a service that you have.
Soros, does it?
And sorry, I just mean these are two different things, so we shouldn't really compare them. And yes, this type of buying is a bit stupid, and it's not maybe as it's not actually stupid, but you can't really do it in the same type of calculated way as you can with the new world, which didn't actually exist before in the same way. So the new world is new because it can help new type of people. So, I mean, the pizza shop around the corner can actually buy the tag words for pizza, Hagsätra, and then you can actually buy that and you can actually drive traffic. And
when you talk about the new world, do you mean, we talk about monetizing online content, and brand advertising is very strong, of course, offline. That's where it comes from. But how does that, is it kind of like on an equal footing in online world, so you have that just as you have it in the offline world? Or do you see that it's only, what's the gonna, do they go 50-50 with actionable, the two different models, brand and
I think it's what Henrik said, it depends on the content you have. So if people are watching Robinson, they don't have any intentions. The only intention you have is like, hey, show me something, entertain me. But if you're on Price Runner and you're comparing TVs, you have an intention to buy a TV, and that's, you can monetize that searching and comparing in a different way than someone watching Robinson.
Okay.
So I think it's, I mean, the old brand world is actually the same basics of business, like get the eyeballs, you know, create a nice experience that advertisers want to be associated with, and then go to London, New York, LA, and have your sales staff and get them out for lunch, blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
I think
so
that works online in the same way as offline.
So maybe
Really
we should
quickly.
jump back to non-advertising, as you asked about it previously.
Yeah, exactly. And to that point, I want to bring in the a lot of just on what Facebook is doing. A lot of people know what Twitter is, and there's or at least a couple of years ago, there was emphasis on building user base instead of revenue. And of course, user base, the obvious thing was, yeah, we'll just put advertising on it, so we'll monetize the kind of the user base that way. But right now, that I think that model is somewhat in a crisis, and a lot of people talk about freemium models and whatnot. So how do you take that? Where are we going? What's the future? Henrik?